Lesson number one when trying to find a job in the National Football League, when it's mid-June and no one has offered you a job, don't go on social media and say, I'll never play for Andy Reid again. I'd retire first. Andy Reid's one of the most respected coaches in the history of the league. And for Le'Veon Bell, who mishandled ultimately at the end of the day his contract situation in Pittsburgh, did not earn his money with the Jets. Congratulations to him on getting the money, but he didn't earn it. Gets dumped by the Jets, lands in Kansas City. Look, football's a meritocracy. If he was good enough to play, he would have played. He would have been part of things. He would have had a larger role. I was amazed how that comment, we wrote about it at PFT, how that moved the needle. People were and I would have never guessed that people would be so interested in the story of a guy who is basically done. And I think that's what's sad about it. He's coming to terms with the fact that it's over. And I think sometimes it's human nature when you're in that spot to lash out at anyone you can instead of acknowledging it's my own fault that it's over.
I don't disagree with you totally there. Yeah, he's in a tough spot. A spot certainly that he's never been in his life where it's like, wait, nobody wants me for my physical abilities and things like that. But, even with that, right? Like, something must have gone down to a degree. Le'Veon Bell, even unhappy in Pittsburgh and with the New York Jets, never, took personal shots at anybody. So that's where I'm intrigued by it. Andy Reid, we know, is like the ultimate player's coach and does so many things, that players love and everything like that. But we saw a similar scenario the year before with LaShawn McCoy. Again, that's the role he was brought in. You weren't there to be like the meat and potatoes guy. You were there to be like the veteran. Like, we got a little, we got a guy here who's got experience and knows how to play, but you're not the main guy. But obviously Le'Veon Bell feels like he should have had more of like a niche within the offense, and that's just not the case. And yeah, it's not a good look for him. You're not going to get him a new job talking like that.
We had the explanation up on the screen for his comments. He says, I said what I said, and I don't regret at all what I said. For those who have a personal problem with me because of what I said, that's fine. You have your right. Just understand I also have my right for how I feel about my personal problem with dude Andy Reid because of what he said to me. I'd love to know what Reid said that pissed off Le'Veon Bell. And it could just be that Reid was the first coach in a long time who told him what he needed to hear. Hey, Le'Veon, you're not Le'Veon Bell anymore. I don't know who you are, but you're not that guy that we used to have to game plan against to try to figure out how to stop the Steelers. That's not you anymore. I don't know. Without knowing what was said, it's impossible to assess whether or not Le'Veon Bell's reaction is justified, Chris.
No, agreed. His reaction is not justified no matter what, really, because of what you're saying, of what we see on the field. There's nothing there to justify it on the field. Like, there's no one sitting there going, man, Andy Reid, I don't know what the deal was. Le'Veon Bell last year was amazing. Why didn't he play him more at the end of the year? That's like, so that's where Le'Veon Bell has to be careful because, there's nothing no evaluator or real football fans going to watch and go, you got screwed over. You were right. You were really awesome when you were out there. And I like Le'Veon Bell. You know that. But, yeah, it's coming to an end, or he's got to change something. He's lost his explosiveness. You can see him in his body. He's not as thick and as powerful as he used to be. So I don't know what went wrong there, but yeah, I think it could be a little bit of a trouble for him to find a team here, and he could be one of those guys that kind of is just waiting around most of training camp.
Said Tyrann Mathieu in response to the kerfuffle, these fellas will blame everybody for their lack of success. That's how I know I'm built different. And, Tyrann's got the right attitude. If you have failures, if you have shortcomings, don't blame someone else. Search your heart, search your mind, search your soul for the things that you can do better. And I don't know whether Le'Veon Bell just lost his commitment to football. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. Something prompted him to sit out all of the 2018 season. And kudos to him for getting the money he got from the Jets. The Jets screwed that up. They didn't have the infrastructure in place to support a Le'Veon Bell. You don't build a team from the outside in. You build it from the inside out. It was a huge mistake, one of the worst free agent signings of the past 20 years. But he did get his money, and I hope he saved it. And I'm not saying that sarcastically. There's only a finite number of years. for an NFL player to have a high level of earning potential, and that's got to last, because I don't think he's getting anything more than the minimum if he even gets an offer to go play for someone for that, Chris.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a part in his career right now where, yes, he's going to get on a team, look at as really a third-string type running back. If injuries happen, then you start to get in the rotation. Yes, you've been around, blitz pickups, you can catch the football, do those type of things. But, yeah, we're getting to the end here. We really are. And I really would think this is his last chance unless he does something kind of significant or really shows real progress this year. I would think this is about it. If he even gets this chance, I think it could be interesting to that degree.
It may be done.
Yeah,
he
it
may
might
have
be.
pressed the self-destruct button, because whoever coaches him next is going to be the next guy who gets called out when it doesn't work on social media. That's what the kids who are growing up in social media don't seem to understand, that when you use that to air out your boss or complain about this at work or that at work, future employers are going to look at that and say, that may be me someday, so I'm not going to hire this person. And it's astounding to me how many people don't understand that if you start complaining about who's signing your paycheck, the people who may be signing it in the future may be a little leery about being in the crosshairs of your criticism.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.